What's good, everyone? This is Dev the Coolest.
And this is JB.
And welcome to Slick Talk. Hey, with a hashtag. Hey, welcome back, y'all. Hope y'all had a great week. Hope y'all been taking care of yourselves during all this stuff that's going on in this
still
world.
Staying positive,
right?
And upbeat,
right?
And optimistic,
right? Not positive in ways that doesn't come back from a test from coronavirus, but like positive as far as like.
Yes. I hope that was going without saying.
But yes, today we have a special guest, a friend to the show. Second time here. We got Lo, aka Retrograde Mommy in the building.
Welcome back.
Hey. How you been?
She looking all beautiful and everything. You got the fur on.
Oh my God.
Thank you. And everything.
Welcome
back.
How you been?
I've been good. You know, like really, really, really good. Really good.
How you been doing with all of this going on?
It was crazy. At first, I was like, what the hell is going on? And then, like, I just recently, my grandmother has passed on. So just right before. So it was like that. And then I work with kids. So my job was like, girl, no. So I'm like, dang, you know, but I'm still like, I got bonding time with my family, you know, so I really appreciate them a lot. So it's cool.
And have y'all been social distancing, or y'all just
hell
like, you know what?
Give me some love.
Right. The love don't change.
But we were just, me and my mom were just talking about, like, we forget, because I was like leaning at the corner store trying to get a bottle, like, you know, you lean over like,
let me get that one over there.
Back up. I was like, oh
goodness.
Don't shoot me. Baby, I had to remember. I forgot. I had to remember. So I'm like, okay. So I respecting other people. You know how we, you know.
No,
but I don't.
It's gonna be interesting when we get out of this and seeing how people are going to
be so
interact.
different.
It's gonna be so interesting.
Nothing's gonna be the same.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
Nothing.
not. So last time you were here was season 2, right? And it was a What's Your Sign episode. People loved that. That was, for that season, one of the most listened to episodes, for sure.
That's
you know,
good. That's
more into
what's
the
up.
stars.
They are. Which is, I'm so happy. I'm like, you know how stuff is trendy? I'm happy that like this type of stuff is a trend, because it's like people getting to really learn themselves from a different aspect, you know? So it's like, you got like the hood guys, like, I want to know, tell me, they want to know.
They really want to know.
You know, and it's like, if they want to, this is good. Everybody, like, you know, needs to know how you are, your different elements.
Exactly, because like you said in the previous episode, like for you, this is the closest for Black people for us to get to our ancestry or spirituality, because we were taken away from that.
And if you think about Black people as a whole, like, we're just, you know, no shade, but you know, we're like, you got to think of it as like we're kind of like the gods in a sense. Like we, you know, populated the earth. Like life came from Africa. So if you think about it, like we're from the sky. Like we can't, you know. So it's like I had to think bigger, and then it's just like I don't know how I'm gonna get from Louisiana to Africa, because you know shit was fucked up back then. It's hard to connect. So just connect to my. Instantly being that God, if that makes sense. Just connected to that, like on a cosmic level.
So how do you stay like motivated when it comes to like a topic like this? Do you have to like completely like make yourself knowledgeable on things that are changing? Or like, you know, is there still a motivation there? Is there still a passion to want to like still know astrology and like read astrology? And
that's a good question, because like I do get bored fast with stuff. I got that Gemini in me, so I'll be like, okay, I'm done with that today. But for this one, it's always happening. Like the moon changes every 2 days, so it's like it's always changing. So you always have to like stay upbeat. Like some planet is always about to go in retrograde, so it's almost like it kind of forces you, because in the sky, how the planets are, it really affects you, and then how, you know, you're going to be affecting other people, like Mercury retrograde. Okay, this shit is fucked up, so I gotta make sure, you know, I don't say nothing out of pocket, or, you know, I'm thinking I'm not, you know, just doing stuff in a rush. I'm like rethinking, reflecting type thing. So it makes you want to, like, what the hell's going on? People be like, what's going on in the sky? You know, they want to know, like, is it a full moon? So it just make you, and then I just love people, so then I could be like, ooh, I have to keep that knowledge so I can kind of guess what they are. And it helps you interact with them too. So
so you're still passionate about it?
Yes, very much so. Very much so. And then, and even if when I do have my times where, you know, everybody feels like, you know, they had a moves where they look like, oh man,
right.
Somebody hit me up. Hey, what's going on? So then I get that passion right back. So it's just something that I feel like it's meant for me to like keep talking about and like keep educating people about.
It's ever changing. It's ever changing.
Really is.
So it keeps you on top of it.
That's why I'm about ever changing. changing, ever evolving.
Yes.
I can't fuck with that stagnant, stale shit.
Right. Complacency, just chilling.
Absolutely.
Even though we've been kind of forced to do it lately.
I know, yeah, but I've been learning how to do hell. I've been timing myself, doing word search, all kind of stuff.
Right.
Yes.
So do you got a quarantine bag?
So, yeah. I do have a bag. You feel me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, that quarantine bag. You don't gotta go too deep into it. I just want to know, is there somebody that you know is there that you could just, you know?
I'm getting that quarantine love.
Yeah,
That's always
that makes
good.
one of us because I don't know what JB got.
That's the same thing. It makes three of us. Oh, no, it makes one of us.
No,
You're right.
I
Sorry.
get nothing.
Yeah, it makes one of us. He's right. And I'm strict. Do you see how you were when you first walked in? I was like, I don't want to give you a hug. So like, this is like crazy because I'm like pretty much celibate at this point.
I know,
I'm not
it's
trying
crazy.
to mess with. I'm not trying to fuck with nobody.
But I
I'm
mean,
like,
it's
leave me
just
alone.
like, if you get it, you get it. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Well,
I don't know. That's just me. I just like, I just gotta live on it.
You know what? What I will say to that, we don't have to talk too much about it, but it's easy for us to say that, you know, because we're healthy.
We're young.
You know,
Yeah.
we're young and everything like that. But if you or I get it and then we go embrace somebody that
That's
has a
true.
weakened immune system and we not know that their immune system
Yeah,
is
it's like,
weakened,
yeah.
it could be life changing. You know,
I
that's
know.
because I feel the same way. I'm like, I'm young, I'm energetic. You know, let me just make
but
sure I
that's
take
what, like
some.
I was saying, like we gotta be mindful.
Yes,
exactly.
You're right. We have to
Slightly
still be
mindful.
mindful.
We understand.
Yes, you
and
are
black
so
folks
right.
has always been clean.
You're right.
We
Well, we always been washing our
but-
hands for the most part,
I
generally.
grew up,
Okay.
you know, being clean. So,
Right.
yeah.
So we talked about you and I in text. We talked about how things kind of were like lined up for all of this to happen. What exactly did you see, or what things? Because I know this. We just came out of Mercury retrograde, right? Not too long ago. So do you think that had a part in it, or what did you mean by that?
So everything, like, so all the planets, so there's all these planets, and then the signs, they mean different things. So like the planet Pluto is a planet of transformation. It rules Scorpio. So it's a planet of like breaking shit down to rebuild it back up. It's in Capricorn. So
Oh, you remember I'm a Capricorn?
yeah, hello.
Come on, girl.
And you Pisces.
Yeah.
Hello.
She remembers.
Hello.
She
Hello.
good. She
Okay.
good.
You know?
She
Okay.
good, y'all. She
You know,
good.
I was just, I love Capricorns.
Yes.
I can't date them, but you want to get this money? Let's go.
Right.
And
We
have
are
a
about
good ass
money.
relationship.
We are
Let's
about
go.
money.
Like,
Boom.
I fuck with Capricorns,
Yes.
but no. And then me and Pisces, Lord have mercy, we just crazy. It ain't no limit. Anyway, but yeah, so Pluto is in Capricorn. So Capricorn rules structure. It literally, like, their body part is the bone structure. So it rules structure. And when we talk about Capricorn, it's like the father. So the structure of the like United States right now, because that structure is more so, it's an older sign, so it's not as, it's personal, but it's about like the structure of family, the structure of working, the structure of just like down to even building something. That's Capricorn is all about structure, and it's in that sign of in that planet of Pluto. So what's happening is the structure of America, or just the world, you can say, is being transformed right now. And because it's in Pluto, the transformation is dramatic. It is like because Pluto just, you don't have no choice. He's like, okay, we finna transform this shit ain't working. I'm finna tear it down, and I'm not caring about how nobody's feeling. So everybody's emotional and they're intense right now, and because of that, because our structure is being rebuilt. That's why.
That's deep.
That's why. And in Capricorn, it just has been some strong energy pretty much this year. Like a lot of signs were in Capricorn for a while, and it's something about January. We just be in Capricorn season for hella long,
Right.
For hella long.
January do take forever.
Yeah.
Because it's that month where you're really like, that energy, and Capricorn and Aquarius are very like close, right? There's certain signs that are very close like that. So because they both used to be correlated with the planet Saturn, even though now Aquarius is with Uranus, and that's another reason why some shit's going on too. But yeah, so that is why we're feeling this right now, and it's so intense because it's being rebuilt. So that's why I say so strongly that nothing is going to be the same. And the last time we had Pluto in Capricorn, it was when the American Revolution happened. So the Constitution was created.
Wow. It was that long ago.
It was that long ago?
Yeah, because every sign has every planet. The planet Pluto's all the way over
so
here.
Far, yeah.
Like Mercury, he fast. He
right,
just, but Pluto's over here. So it takes years for Pluto to go through the whole, like, a long ass time. So it has to go through 12 signs.
Right.
So it's taking forever. It's moving hella slow. So it's been a long time. And then before that, it was the Black Plague in the medieval times in Europe. So it's like we got the transformation of America and just the world in general, and then we got this fucking plague.
Right.
This pandemic or pandemic.
Yeah. Pandemic, right.
That's what my father pandemic.
I like that. That's how I'm thinking about it too.
Right, make you feel damn it, but that's why. And then we have Pluto Pluto rules Scorpio, and then we have Uranus who rules Aquarian. And Aquarian is Pluto and Uranus have this weird relationship because they're all about changing shit. Okay. Right? So if you're born with Uranus in Scorpio or Pluto in Aquarius, it's good. Okay. It's because those signs really they just really appreciate like changing shit and transforming shit. Okay. Now Uranus is just random. So Uranus is now in my sign Taurus. Okay. Taurus rules like money, your values. Like all of a sudden our values are changing, right? Just randomly this pandemic happened, right. And then we're like, oh shit, like I value toilet paper more. I value actually going inside. For me, I'm really valuing being in the house because I like to be in the house, but I like to be like, out in the streets. Yeah, right. Yeah. So I'm valuing things different. So our values are changing now. Like the way that we go about the things that Taurus rules, like where Taurus is all about social, saving money. Taurus is a money sign. So we have these dramatic planets in earth signs, and earth signs they're slow to do stuff because they like, I have to build the foundation
we
first.
were just talking about that. That's so funny.
About that.
Right. So it's like that's what's happening. And Uranus is in Taurus for 7 years. So this shit is gonna be like we ain't seen nothing yet. So it started last year. Okay. But we haven't seen nothing yet. Wow. We ain't seen nothing yet. This is just a peak of stuff. We're gonna be like, wow.
Well, things were pretty messed up.
And that's what happens. But this energy has been building over like the last 5 years. The energy to where it's like we need to shift. And 5 is a number of change too. So shit is just shifting. It's just shifting. But right now we're in 2020 because all these things correlate. Numerology, tarot, astrology, all these things coordinate. We're in 2020. So that's 20. If you add those together, it's 4. 4 is the number correlates to Capricorn. Structure. So we're literally, this is all about building our new foundation, our new structure, globally as a country, then individually as just people, spiritual,
That's so
beings.
Interesting.
That's
it's
deep.
Crazy. That's why people be like, oh, astrology, nah, y'all need to know.
Circles are back around.
For real.
Yeah, and I was like, everything repeats itself. But with us, it's just repeating itself different, especially because we have now technology. And technology rules everything. And Uranus rules over technology. So we're going to see a lot of like innovative things changing, having to correlate with money, because it's a Taurus. Like I just got an online bank account. I have a regular one, but I have an online one too because I'm like, shit is changing. I need to make sure I'm ahead. So even like our homes, like how we got Disney Plus, like all of a sudden we're getting all these different, out of nowhere popping up. Like Amazon got movies.
And everybody's into stocks now too.
All this shit. Yeah, exactly. Because of technology, it's changing like how we do things. So it was bound to happen anyway. It was going to happen anyway.
Wow, and this is the first time it's happening in anyone that's alive right now's lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Because if the last time it happened was the American Revolution,
I
would hope nobody was alive. They're still alive.
I would hope not.
If they here, they got some other shit. They from another realm. If they still here,
right? They got some other stuff going on.
Put us on. Go to the future since you traveling.
Right.
Let us know what the fuck really be going on. Yeah. So
and things have been really messed up since we got this man in the White House now. Yeah. We were bound to have some things that needed to be torn down. And
he's one of the reasons, I don't necessarily, I don't really talk politics too much.
Right. We're not political pundits.
Everybody serves a purpose, and he has his purpose that he is serving. And one thing I can say that I do appreciate about him, not that it's good, but we're not getting fakeness. We're getting how they really are behind the scenes. Right. He just like, I'm putting it out there. He's a Gemini. I'm putting it out there.
Right.
I'm letting it be known.
Yeah.
So don't, so that's the only thing I can respect, because then we got these presidents and they be like, oh, I'm just so presidential and
Yeah.
really like you ain't shit. So I appreciate you being ain't shit. So now I know how to move accordingly now that I got this president.
That's real.
That really shouldn't have
real.
really been there
real.
anyway.
In the first place, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
it's going to be interesting because he's not going to be in the White House forever. It's going to be interesting once he's out what the office of presidency will look like.
See, and this is the thing, because our foundation is changing. People don't really. They're not listening to me when I say this, but he's probably going to be in office again because of this pandemic shit
everything
that's going on.
Yeah.
Nobody's worried about voting. Nobody's trying to go out. What are we going to do? Vote electronically?
Right.
Like, it's going to change. So it may be to where that just keep an open mind to that presidency, our whole democracy, or however we just look at our structure when it comes to that could change. We may not have a president anymore.
Yeah.
It may be different. It may be appointing people, like a bunch of people. So it may not be just this one person representing, whole, because, we on some new world order shit. So
right at this point, martial law.
This is literally one of the reasons why I love having you on, because like just you speaking on the astrology and everything that you learned about what's happening right now was just so in layman terms. Like you just put it out there like for everybody to understand. Like it makes complete sense.
It's so easy to understand once you just really like put yourself into it. It's really it's like riding a bike. Y'all know how to ride a bike, right? Because people don't know how to ride bikes. But, okay.
It's like, well, let me not use that if y'all don't know how to ride a bike.
But it's just second nature after a while.
It's intuitive.
It really is. And everybody has the ability to do it. Everyone.
Well, so we're going to segue from here to going into some questions that we got in, because everyone has, like we were telling people are into it. So we got some questions on Instagram. We posted a question box. So we're going to start easy.
Okay.
Nice and easy.
Right.
And we're gonna make it rough.
Let's start here. So this person would love to know more about sun and moon signs and I guess the differences and what that means.
Okay, so everybody is made up of different signs. Everybody. So that's why they ask, like, what's your birth time, all that, because the planets were all aligned in different constellations, right? So let's say, for instance, me, right? I'm a Taurus. Okay, that is my sun sign. So the sun is ruled by Leo. The sun, and when we think about Leo, we think about like their ego. That's one of the first things that comes up for Leo is ego. Ego ain't a bad thing if it's in check. Yeah. You need your ego, but it rules your core. How your essence of how you are, right? Okay. And if you think about a Leo and why they're from the sun is because their core, so it's like a sun,
right? And
it's shining out all the time. And sometimes you be like, damn, you want to put your shades on, but it's like I'm finna shine regardless. So that's your core. My core is a Taurus, so that's an Earth sign who is a fixed sign. Fixed signs are people who, like, if you think about the spring, Aries starts spring, Taurus fixes the spring,
it's
and then
the
it passes
spring.
It off to Gemini,
who
is mutable, who'll take it take it over to the Cancer, who is a starter, who starts summer.
Got it.
So that is, I'm a fixed sign. So that means my core is a fixed Taurus. I'm Taurus at core. Now, my moon sign is what I need emotionally and how I go about healing myself. Also, my moon sign is Beyonce. So
Virgo.
It's a Virgo.
Yeah, Virgo.
So, that is how, so like, for instance, a Virgo, one way that they, deal with things emotionally, they're not necessarily emotional people, but they will talk. They're very good communicators. They're from Mercury, like Virgo. I mean, like Gemini. So when, like, your moon sign, depending on what it is, mine, I like to talk, or I need to fold some clothes. I need to do something, with my hands. Virgo's very much so with their hands.
Right.
So all just depends. Like, what's your moon sign?
That's a great question.
I had it written down in my old.
I don't
What's
remember
that app called again?
Somebody.
At Cafe. Mine is Aries.
Your moon is Aries? Wow. Okay. So let's see for you. So your moon is in Aries. That means you can be really emotionally impulsive. So even though you're a Pisces and you come off, very flowy and sweet, not too aggressive, you cool, people kind of feel like they can escape to you, because Pisces is a sign of escaping. Either you escaping or somebody's coming to escape with you.
To me, yeah.
So
I be coming to escape
right,
like,
all the time.
Please,
for real. And then you have the Aries, who is like aggressive. So you may have these spurts of like this aggression coming out of nowhere, or you may come off more aggressive than a or more assertive than a regular Pisces would. Because sometimes they say Pisces are kind of pushovers or whatever. But having that Aries is like, oh, hell no. Right. And I've dealt with some Aries moons, and I'm glad you got Pisces there, because that's, throw hands. Aries moon is equals throw hands. You actually just read him. Throw hands.
You just read him down right now.
Okay?
Because he is definitely, you just read him down. For anybody that knows Dev.
I can see, but Pisces is very spicy too. But because at core you are a Pisces, but what you need emotionally is an Aries. So it's important for you to know your moon sign, so that you could be like, hey, this is what I need to do better. So your core is how you are, because you can't change your birthday. You can't change the day you came out. Is your birthday. Okay. That would be you a Pisces. And then your moon is what you need emotionally.
Wow. Okay. Huh. There's also rising. They didn't ask about that, though.
Rising is just how you come off to people. So, like, my rising is also Virgo, too. So, initially, people just like, damn, Beyonce. Right. And I'm like, no, not Beyonce. Beyonce. But, yeah, you come off. That's how you come. It's your mask. It's how you come off to people.
Let me go look this up again.
I really wish you remembered yours.
Okay.
I wish
look it up. We can get a chat. I will look it up.
That makes sense. I'm a Leo rising. Now, that makes the most sense to me.
So, you have a lot of fire in you.
I do.
Yeah, that Leo rising.
That makes a lot of sense to me, though.
And that fire makes your voice project, too.
That's why I'm so damn loud.
Yeah.
Especially when there's a little alcohol.
Yeah. Don't get no fire.
We got look. This is
for. I know. I see the JMO right there.
Right. It's about to be cracked open real soon. Okay. So I think that's a good segue to, this is a compatibility question. Maybe we can make it a bit more general. So, but this is a sun Cancer, rising Cancer, and moon in Capricorn, a sun in Gemini, rising in Leo, and the moon in Taurus. So what's the marriage compatibility? So that's water, earth for one, and earth, fire, earth.
It's air. Gemini, Leo, fire, rising, and a Taurus. So the thing, you could date any sign you want. I mean, it's all about just like learning that person. You can date anybody. Yeah. Learn that person, and then they learn you, and you'll be able to work. Now with Cancers are very open people. They'll accept you how you are.
I love Cancer.
And they're like a little bit toxic shit. And Gemini is like, I'm with the toxic shit because I just gotta stir shit up because I get so bored fast. So let me just start shit. So, so that Cancer has water, right? So their relationship with like their mother is very important. Also with the father, because their moon is in Capricorn. And then the other person, their moon is in Taurus. So that right there is already emotionally, they need the same thing. So they're able to come together. Emotionally, they need that, right? Nice. They do. And then the thing about Gemini is also, they're very flighty. If you can get them to sit down and smell the roses, Cancer can do that because Cancer is very providing. They can take care, and Gemini will help Cancer be like, look, you don't have to be so smothering. Like, I can help you too. And that Leo, one thing about a Leo, I wish I could date a Leo because they're very devoted. And when they love you, they're very, they're dramatic. So they're like, I love you. We doing this. They got shit planned, whatever. And Capricorn moon's really like that. Capricorn.
I love that.
Capricorn is like, I've been doing shit for everybody. Right. I'm about to lay back. And Leo's like, don't worry, I got this.
Let me go find me a Leo child. Who a Leo?
I'm telling you, Leo and Capricorn can really work.
Really?
It can really work.
Into some Leos too, but I was like, I don't know shit about y'all.
Get to know them.
Okay.
A Capricorn, and I tell always a Capricorn and a Leo should date. Every Capricorn should date a Leo and vice versa, at least once.
Okay.
Try to get one that's high vibrating, but if you get your little toxic one, but
hit my DMs, Leo.
Yeah,
Okay, so now this one's asking, why do people date Aries?
Okay, I'm still trying to figure that out right now. Okay, so
I dated an Aries.
My little sister's an Aries, and I be looking at her BD like her baby daddy like, really, you put up with that?
Wow, they will run your motherfucking ass. Oh man, but okay, so the thing about Aries is they're hella sweet. Yeah. They're hella sweet.
Are they?
They're hella sweet. They are. Yeah. But we talking about fire. Fire is like, it's fire just start. It don't think. It's not like, hey, I'm fire, I'm gonna think about starting a fire. It just does it. And then after the fact, they'll be like, damn, I shouldn't have burnt all that stuff down. That's how they are. So they're very impulsive. Aries is the first sign. So it's naturally, when you know Aries, they're gonna think about themselves. So when you know Aries, they're the first sign they think about themselves. But my mom always tell me like the first law of nature is self-preservation. So they are preserving themselves. But it may look like, oh, they just so crazy. They only worried about themselves. Now there's other things that could, in Aries. Like I know Aries that has a Venus in Pisces. Venus is how you love.
Right.
She's extremely sweet. She still will throw hands, but she's very sweet. Yeah. And Aries just needs someone that has patience. And that's why they're kind of good with like air signs, because the air keeps that fire going. But maybe an air sign that has a little water in there. And then Aries, they need someone that can be like, no, stop. But in a way to where Aries doesn't think that they're saying no, stop. Because if you tell Aries no, that's instant go for them. Like,
wow,
I'm instantly, So people date Aries because Aries are kind of like Leos. They're fun. They'll plan shit. Them motherfuckers be cute. They be dressing hella cute. They be having a shit together because they are about taking care of themselves. So I mean, I could see why people would date an Aries. I like Aries placements, like Aries Mercury, because my Mercury's in Gemini, or like an Aries Venus, because it's like we just like this,
right?
It's like you just firing me up, and I'm just blowing your fire. We got California fire,
right? The wildfires,
okay, So it's like I can see why people would date Aries.
Okay. I did, and we're not together. But he was a sweetheart. He was very sweet, but he was very hot headed. And I said, "Well, wait a minute."
I dated an Aries moon, and I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, you not thinking about shit for you open your mouth. Oh, my God. Like, I can't do this. Aries, to me, they scare me, because I like shit let's think first before we, and there's no thinking. It's a liability. It's like, oh, shit. Anything can happen with this motherfucker.
Oh,
I don't know.
Shit.
Yeah, so some people like that, though.
Not me.
Yeah.
Let's say we have time we got like 2 more questions here, but one of them is kind of long and selfish, but the first one is, I'm a Gemini. Hit me with them compatibility facts.
Gemini.
So I guess what's Gemini?
So Gemini is, okay, so people always say like, well, what's the dates? It changes. One, we have like leap year, so sometimes the dates will change a little bit. So it's about the degree. That's why it's important to know the date that you were born. Every sign has 30 degrees. Because when you times 30 times 12, that's 360.
I got it.
Come on, right, and she's a mathematician. I don't know what to do. I'm just, she's teaching me shit that's new.
So Gemini, the thing about Gemini is they're very special because they can date anyone. Because they can adapt to anything. These people are chameleons, and they try to say that they're two-faced, and it's like, really, they represent duality. They have the ability to be masculine and feminine at the same time. So people who be like, oh, Gemini two-faced, no, you just mad because you can't do two like me. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I have a lot of Gemini energy, so I can come off very masculine, I can come off very feminine. But for Gemini, their compatibilities, they need someone who can communicate. They rule communication. They're from Mercury. Mercury is, when we think about like mythology, he was the god of communication. So he had like a halo with wings on it because he was sending messages. He was delivering messages, you know? So that's what Geminis do. That's why sometimes they be gossiping, they be talking hella shit, because that's what they do.
That's what they do,
Just give them something really good to talk about.
Geminis?
Celebrity Geminis?
Yeah,
actually,
celebrity
Donald
Geminis?
Trump, let's go. Donald Trump, Andre 3000, Lauren London, not Lauren London,
Lauren Hill,
Kanye West. I love Kanye, that's my cousin.
I love him too.
That's my crazy cousin. Yeah, like there's a lot of artists. Kendrick Lamar,
Naomi Campbell.
Oh, fucking yes. Yes. So there are a lot of Geminis. They're very influential people. Tupac was a Gemini, you know. Biggie was like on the cusp of being, I think he was a Gemini too. He was late May. But these people, they're very good with words, but you have to be able to talk to them to keep them active, because Gemini represents like a toddler. So if you think about a toddler, they're very curious, they're into stuff, they're trying to talk, they're learning words, they're just so curious about life. So a Gemini needs someone who can ground them too, because they're very flighty, but they need someone who can talk to them, communicate with them, share things with them. Like Gemini's hella random, like they'll just be like Google facts out of nowhere. You just like, how the fuck do you know that? You know? And they need someone that's like, wow, what do you know? Like, just really intrigue them. The way to win a Gemini is mind control. If you can date a Gemini, it's because you have mind control, because you know how to use your words.
Aquarius.
Yeah, you know how to use they're good with Aquariuses.
Aquariuses, they love to play mind games.
Yeah. They're good with other air signs. Other air signs they is. I don't fuck with Aquarius like that.
Me
it's
neither.
just certain signs I don't do. But yeah, I be cool with them.
Listen, I'm on the fringe. What do you call it?
What?
On the brink of not dealing with any Aquarius.
Oh yeah, I'm good. I dated
Everybody
two,
had
and they
they
both
role.
hurt me. So okay, we got time for one more question before we wrap it up and kiki with this JMO.
Okay. P. Riano.
I guess we didn't really talk. Well, we talked about Aries. Somebody asked about Sagittarius. Like anything Sagittarius,
boom.
I'm all
so
in.
Boom. I was with my Sagittarius friend last night. Shout out to him. He is amazing. So it's two signs that's really my favorite. I love all signs, but Gemini and Sagittarius. They're also opposite signs. Everybody got opposite signs. Like yours is Virgo and yours is Cancer. So and mine is Scorpio. No, but those two right there are just everything. And I think with Sagittarius, people don't understand that this is half man, half beast. It's a horse. So there's animalistic. He wants to run wild. You get what I'm saying? So in order to really learn the Sagittarius, let them be themselves. Don't give them no ultimatums. Don't tell them what to do. You know, really let them be themselves. And then that's how you act accordingly with these, because there's no changing with them. Some of them are okay. They know how to say, like, I apologize for stuff. Most of them don't. So that's why it's okay. Like, you got to learn how to really deal with them. But my friend, he has all the earth signs in him. Like, his rising is like Taurus, his moon is Virgo, his Mercury's Capricorn, so he's a little bit more grounded.
Okay.
But he does have those spurts to where he's like, let's go just run the streets, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. You know?
Let's go.
I feel like people just really have to really appreciate a Sagittarius. They're also secretly, people don't know, they're very clingy, so they need someone who they can kind of like admire and look up to, someone low key that's doing better than them. You know, or they're like Geminis, they're the opposite. So they rule travel. So they want to know, teach me things, almost as if I'm traveling in your mind. Like what are they're prone to dating people outside of their race because they love culture. They want to know, like, they're traveling. They're traveling people.
You know, and it's funny because I dated a Sagittarius, and I was talking to a friend.
Y'all have a special relationship, Pisces.
Yeah, I know a lot of successful Pisces Sagittarius relationships for sure. And the one that I was dating at the time, we were dope, and I saw the clinginess in him. Like he would like cling on to me, and it was up until I decided to give in to him is when he decided to retract. So
they are all about the chase because they're animals.
Yeah,
they're half animals, so they need to chase something. So that's why they need someone that's a step ahead of them. That's why they do good with like Leos and Aquarians. Aquarians they do very good with because they both understand freedom. And Sagittarius like to go ghost. And because I'm free, I don't expect shit from me but to be myself.
Right.
And the same thing with Aquarian. Like, I don't want to talk to you humans, you know. So they understand. They're able to talk and like they understand that. Right. I just think with Sagittarius, you just have to know, like, let them be themselves, and then they'll let you'll be able to really get close to them and like. But you know, it's just high vibrating ones, right? Because I've had something that's like, oh God, I don't want to talk to your ass. Right. Oh like, Lord, have mercy. God, please.
So before we go though, because I don't know if that was the last. I do have one question I want to sneak in before we wrap it up. Do you have any type of like advice for people that, I mean, because we have a lot of time on our hands now with this going on, for people that are interested in learning more about their signs, or people are interested in learning about compatibility or what's really going on? Do you have any advice for people to like look up, like you had all this information on what's going on right now, like what should people do to get even more information? Because this is only a half-hour show that we have with you, unfortunately. But if they want to know more,
where can they go? Where can
they go besides like Google? Like where do you go?
So like I have a lot of books. I read a lot, so I had a lot of books and things like that. But that information is out there. Like it, you know, we living in a time of information, so you can Google things. Okay. One of my favorite. Okay, so I'm biased about certain stuff. I don't like CoStar app. I don't know if y'all have that.
I do.
That's where I got the little moon stuff from. That's what it was, the CoStar
There's
app.
This app. It's called Time Passages. Even though you get more, because the app, there's a free one and then there's one that you can buy. So Time Passages, and it'll teach you, like it has like a glossary where you can learn, like this is what moon sign means, this is what this means. So it has a glossary where you can learn about that. Okay. And then I would just suggest people, while you have this time, to find your birth certificate, because when you learn about astrology, it's inward, outward. So you're not gonna understand the world first. You need to learn about yourself and your energy, because then you'll be able to relate it to worldly energy or the energy outside inside of you. So you'll be like, oh, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would do that. There's this website. It's Albe or it's ALABE.com.
Okay.
And you can go. That's where I did my first birth chart ever. I like that. Cafe Astrology is really good, but sometimes I feel like their website kind of scattered, like you can't find everything.
That's how it's really everywhere.
But I do have a Twitter now. It's Big Mama's Basement. That's my Twitter name.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead and follow you.
So if anybody wants to ask questions, I send links. I send books. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna buy the book for you, but I'm gonna send you the link on Amazon.
Right.
So you can like look things up and find it, just because it's important for people to know what's going on, because this shit is getting crazy. You need to know yourself.
Yes.
When you know yourself, that's how you gonna know.
Ooh, that's a great way to.
So you can't learn ass
ending.
backwards.
You can't know shit about nothing else until you know about yourself. I love that. Lo, it's always a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
We're gonna have you back again.
Man, I'm telling whenever. Shit, it's Corona. I ain't, who knows? They gonna open the school up. So
Right.
I got time today, cuz. Okay.
I love it.
Who knows if I'm even going back to work? I don't know what's gonna happen. So, but anyway, thanks so much, y'all, for listening to another episode of Slick Talk. #Slick Talk. We'll see y'all next week.
Yes.
And take
Stay
care.
safe.
Stay safe.
Cheers.
Stay home. Love y'all. Bye.